Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Uninspired podcast. It's just me, Jay, Scott, and Ashton tonight. Dave decided to bail on us. Shame on him. Anyway, how's it going?
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
So far, so good. Yeah. Good.
Yeah?
How was your
Pretty
guys'
good?
week?
I
Good.
tried the waking up early thing. Like I've been reading in all the like Grant Cardone books and Rich Dad Poor Dad and waking up early and self motivation. So I woke up at 5 a.m. and I thought my day was supposed to be over at 1. I'm just like, that's it. My day's done. 1 o'clock, I was done. It's a very weird shock to my system. I still got 7 hours of sleep, of course, before waking up at 5 a.m. But
You saying because you started at 5 a.m. you were done at 1 o'clock?
no, my body just felt done. It's just like, okay, we've had a long day. We can go home and relax now. And it's just like, no, just finished
Not
lunch
yet.
break.
Yeah.
Weird experience, but
That's why I don't wake up early.
I'm more of a morning
Yeah.
person.
What time do you have to get up,
Hours.
Van
What?
Heerden?
Me?
Yeah.
I get up 6:30, 6:45 most days. I work by 8:30.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
not
I
bad.
like
I
to
guess,
give
yeah.
myself like an hour to shower and eat breakfast
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
look good,
Oh.
you know.
And
Always.
so
Always.
salad.
See,
For me,
the
it doesn't
thing,
matter.
the thing is, yeah, once you get out of the manual labor sphere, you have to shower in the mornings, so that adds a bit of time. And
I would kind of like that though.
it's
think I would
nice.
honestly
You know why
prefer that.
it's nice is because when you come home at the end of the day, you don't have to shower and do all that stuff. You just like if you got something right after work, you can just go there.
Go do
biggie.
it!
Like
Yeah.
that is so handy. The only thing I
Oh,
find
that'd
out
be
tad
best.
annoying is that I dress formally for work, and then sometimes you feel overdressed if you go anywhere afterwards. Like, and that's a bit of a pain. But I mean, still, all you got to do is quick whip home, throw some clothes on,
Yeah.
and then go back out. But if you
You
work a
wouldn't even-
manual labor job and you're all dirty and you smell, like you have to go home no
Yeah.
matter what, because otherwise you just feel so
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
I
If you
stopped-
got work boots
Yeah.
and a dirty shirt and whatever, like even if someone's like, "Oh, I don't care," you're like, "No, I care because I feel
Yeah.
gross." Like,
I stopped caring about that because it's an hour drive for me to out here, and there's no like Walmarts or anything. So
Yeah.
if I ever need to go grocery shopping, I just stroll on into Walmart with my
Okay,
sweatpants.
Walmart's different though.
What?
Walmart, I feel like you
Yeah.
don't need to have very high standards to walk into
The
Walmart.
rest of them are like around social house like that too, and like Boston
Mm.
Pizza. and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
but that's because you
Probably
don't
don't.
really have a choice either, right?
Yeah. If I had the choice, I would be showering after work.
But yeah, that's
But I
definitely
do like the business hours.
that's definitely one of the biggest things I noticed when you make that switch, and it's nice because you just feel clean all the time too.
Yeah, I know. It's just like you don't have to shower that early in the morning. It feels like you're doing it just like to refresh yourself than it is
Yeah.
to like clean off the disgusting sweat and smell that's accumulated on your body. 10, 12-hour workday.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because to me, if I shower in the morning, that's pointless because I'm gonna get dirty and I'll have to shower in the evening before I get back in bed, and to
Yeah,
shower before I go
exactly.
to
And then
and then in the morning right away again. Just
then you shower
way too
twice.
much shower
That's just a
time.
waste of time. The only time I do
Yeah.
that, well, I don't know. I like it depends. Like, but when I hit the gym at night, I'll usually shower afterwards. So then, 3 times a week, I guess I'll shower twice a day. But
Yeah.
otherwise, it's just once.
Yeah, that makes sense though.
Hmm. But anyway, I got a chance to reserve domain names for the podcast.
You.
Yeah.
Domain
Uninspired.
We are officially
Un-
uninspired.
uninspiredpodcast.com and uninspiredpodcast.net I reserved. And I also reserved my personal name, so my first and last name. And me and Josh were attending a course today, and one of the things the guy had said was use like reserve your personal name as a domain name just in case, right? Because it's only like $10 a year, and who knows if you ever get famous and then you're gonna want it. Or I don't even mean get famous, but let's say if you want to start a blog or anything like that. I mean, for me, I'm not really worried that anyone's gonna take my name. Unless it was that case where you do get a bit more popular and then someone takes your name just so they
Yeah.
can sell it back to you. But I thought it was a really interesting thing because it's like, yeah, it's nice to have that domain name available, right?
Oh yeah.
So you can reserve your own name. like your own.
You can reserve anything you want if it's available, right? So for you, you can do your first and last name.com, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's very handy. It's nice. Let's say, if you were to do blogging or to do whatever, and it comes kind of into the whole question I've been asking myself, like, in the business world, I think it's very important to like promote your personal brand as well as your business brand, because like the worst that can happen is you change companies and then you lose all your contacts and you lose all that work you put in, right? And that's why I really like LinkedIn, because it's all based on your personal name, right? You change companies, you still have your LinkedIn. And that's why it's nice what I'm doing a lot of marketing through LinkedIn for my company, which is great. But if I go to it somewhere else, I still have all those contacts, I still have all that, right? And that's kind of the thought I've been putting into, is even as far as like when you add a contact into your phone, it asks, do you want to put it under your like work email or under your personal email? And I always go under my personal email, because I do think it's always good to kind of have those, to keep control over your own contacts, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, as a business manager, I would say you kind of want your salespeople to be the other way around. But if you both can get them, that's the best scenario, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. So that I guess that kind of a little bit of a rabbit trail there, but that's what I was thinking with the whole personal website thing is you can start, as you're working for companies, you can start building your personal brand at the same time, which is, I think, at the end of the day, what's going to benefit you more than anything else.
Oh, yeah. So how do you get your own domain? What do you have to do to get that?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways you can do it. Do you remember the websites, Josh? I think the one I did it on was...
I thought I wrote them down.
I can find it on my phone here a second, but I think it was Sierra. Or you can go like GoDaddy or WordPress or anything. You can just pretty much Google domain names, right? But I will look a second, because I do have it here.
Actually, I think I might have heard of one. Actually, I think it's just called domain.com.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's thousands of different places you can do it. So
check it out.
It's not exactly.
What I should do is just
I used one called TiraNet.
Oh yes, that was the one who was the guy in the meeting kind of was saying that was his favorite one to use. So there's that one. He threw a bunch of different websites.
That's what I reserved it on, TiraNet, and I reserved my name, and then I reserved those two names for the podcast, and it was like I said, it was only $10, $10 or $12 a domain name per year, and you can do like 10 years if you want. And then he showed us another website actually where you can, like, if a domain name is taken, you can actually kind of just like put a bid in on this website so that if it ever expires because people stop paying for it, then you'll get it automatically, which is really neat as well.
So you can, like, book it.
Yeah. So
or even buy it from people. So if you wanted to, start a side hustle, you could just think of a bunch of really good names that don't really relate to anything, and just get domain over all of them, and then just wait, and maybe every now and then somebody calls you up.
Yeah, I think all the main ones are taken, but the worst would be the best / worst would be if you really targeted people. Like the second you see that someone came up with a new idea and they haven't been proactive about it, you just reserve all their domain names and then like try sell it to them. But that would just be a kind of shitty thing to do.
Oh yeah, but, I was not suggesting people actually go do that, because then you're gonna have.
And you're gonna steal Josh's idea, so don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm gonna give a domain a name, bullshit domains. And my whole company is just gonna be making up random ass names.
Except the licensing is gonna kill you before you ever.
No, I'll just go to like the people that are like almost like just do a bunch of different names to start out. Just go through the phone really quick, or get there's a few different companies I could go after, or music. Or,
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm catching your train of thought there. But another thing I did, which is I contracted I guess independent outsourced designer to build a logo. It was only like $28. So I was excited about that, and that was another thing I learned from that course today, because I was going to do on one of those logo design competitions, which I don't know if you've ever heard of them. Have you, Ashton?
Logo design competitions.
Yeah, so it's like a
What?
website. There's a whole bunch of them. There's one called 99 Designs, and
mm,
you essentially put it out there. You say, "Hey, I'm gonna pay $500, and I want a logo. This is my company name. This is what we do. Maybe this is some colors we want." And like thousands of people on there, if they have an idea, they'll submit something, right? So you get
Yeah.
all these independent designers that just submit designs. Boom, 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 boom.
Do you have
Right?
to? Can it be an independent person? Like if all of a sudden I want to get on there, I could just
Yeah, you
go
could do
design
that.
something and send it off
Yeah,
to them.
yeah, you could do that 100%. So the problem
Jeez,
is
like,
you if you're not good, you might waste a lot of time, right? Because if you enter into these competitions, they pick the best one, and then only that
mhm.
person gets paid, right? So I was
Yeah,
thinking about doing that because I've seen a lot of success from them, and I think that's really cool. But the lowest you can go almost across the board on any of the websites is like $250. So
really?
I didn't really want to spend that at this point. So
Yeah.
so you have to spend $250 to get into the competition, or what?
No,
no,
to get a
like
Oh,
logo.
to get a logo
to
for.
get a logo, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so if
I
you
see.
say, hey, this is
Ah,
my idea, I want a logo, the lowest you can kind of start a competition for is 250
Yeah.
bucks. The idea is
Okay.
the more money you spend, the better logo you'll get because the more people that will enter, right? So if you also throw 5 grand down on there, you'll probably get like a whole bunch of more logos. In my opinion, I think you probably get just as good of a one whether you do 250 or 5 grand.
Depends on
Because
the people that get on there and do it
yeah, but the
too.
same thing is the people that are really good at it know they're gonna get the money, so
Yeah.
they do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't want to spend that kind of money now. So what was really nice is this guy suggested um, a website called Fiverr, which is like an outsourcing website. So like for graphics design, for website design, for anything like that. I'm familiar with a website that's similar to that called Upwork. And I think they both similar do the same thing. But I didn't even think of that. But then you can find independent designers on there that'll just outright design a logo for you for $30 type of thing, right?
oh
Because they're
wow.
all in India and they don't, or India or anywhere on the other side of the world, and they don't need to make that much money because the exchange rate works out so well for them, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So,
Yeah.
so that's,
Yeah.
but I mean, in my opinion, I did that. I did, yeah, it was like $28 or something. I only get 3 designs to pick from, but this guy's got a really good reputation, so I'm thinking designs will probably be enough. And I think that's another problem with those logo design competitions is that they have so many results on there that it can become kind of tedious to pick the one you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because think of it,
Pick the
you
right
ask
one.
for a logo, and then all of a sudden there's 400 submissions, and you're
Yeah.
just like,
And
I don't know, like they
yeah,
all kind of look good. Like this one looks good, and this one
Yeah.
looks good, and So I think sometimes it can make it simpler if you just have to pick from 3. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of what I was working on with that. I thought that was pretty cool that I got a
yeah.
chance to do that. I also started a Twitter handle. I just got to do Facebook yet.
To the podcast?
Yeah.
Can we tweet stuff now? Can we
Oh, yeah.
hashtag randoms? Can we
Yo,
do like weird
hashtag
hashtags? If people want to hit it up. If you want to talk about this episode, use the hashtag. Shame on you, Dave. Shame on you.
Yeah. Shame on you, Dave. That's a good one. If you're talking about this episode, just say "Shame on you, Dave." Hashtag.
If you have, because
Yo,
everybody has a
hashtag
friend
this.
named Dave, it's just gonna be great if they're gonna feel like you were talking about them or something like that. Just yeah, shame on you, Dave. Shame on you. Hashtag that up. Uninspired.
Yeah, maybe just yeah,
Uninspired. Shame on Dave.
yeah, shame on Dave. I like that
That's
idea.
actually good. Yeah, man. To be
Yeah,
honest.
there's nothing wrong with that, right? Make
No.
them feel the pain, the letdown.
Yeah. Oh, they can hurt.
Maybe we should take it easy. But,
Oh, man.
yeah.
Let's go like Dave. Just
Oh, me too. I definitely like Dave. He's a pretty cool dude.
Screw him.
Hey,
I love him. I love him. I love that kid. Yeah.
have you guys had any experience with public speaking?
What do you, sort of?
What did you do?
Oh, how long ago? Like, a youth group at one time, a couple things like that. Very, very minor things. MCing a wedding. When I was DJing, I used to DJ a bunch of weddings too. I MC'd the entire wedding for my cousin, but being a DJ, every now and then we just MC some dances like the cha-cha slide or stuff like that, or the cutting the cakes, or just kind of organizing a few things. It wasn't like, here's a speech, yada, yada, yada. It's more like, okay, everybody eat some cake, have some drinks, get on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Everybody do the Macarena, now the YMCA, and now go home.
And did you have a hard time with that at all?
I find the first 5 to 10 seconds are hard. As soon as you get through that, you're good.
Yeah, I hear you. I've had it a couple times where I just got put on the spot, and people are like, "Oh, could you talk?" And it's like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then you just start. Once you get rolling, like my mind's pretty good at coming up with stuff, and I'm just. But lately, I've just almost took it as a challenge. Like it's so like whenever you start attending events and stuff, it's so many times where people are like, "Anybody got any ideas on that?" And just silence, like across the whole room, because everyone's scared of it. So lately, I've been kind of taking it of a challenge, just being, yeah, I do, and just stand up, because it's not a big deal. And once you realize that it's not a big deal, you just kind of get out there and do it. And I think I might be a little bit lucky because I naturally have some of that. And I don't know what is natural or what is learned, but that book, Flinch by Julian Smith, I don't know if you got a chance to read that, Josh. I put it in that messenger. But that book was really, really cool because it's all about like facing that reflex, like that flinch, and overcoming that flinch, like that flinch in regards to anything. But, you know, let's say public speaking, for example, so many people are just like insanely scared of that, like compared to almost anything else. Like if you think of it, they're more scared of that than anything else. And it's just because of things that they've built up over like growing up, right? A kid hardly has any fear of public speaking because they don't like, you build all these fears up over time, and this book kind of targets like, hey, getting over that, like pushing over that flinch, like that instinct, and just powering through that, and how exhilarating and how fun that can be. But I just thought it was really interesting because I actually have a lot of fun with it now. Like I was attending a City of Lethbridge thing, and I just kind of got up out there and did a bit of not a presentation, but we had designed a poster, and then I was just, I guess I was presenting it. But you get up there and you talk and you start spitballing, and then you find you naturally just make people laugh when you're clamoring for words to say.
Yeah.
And then it ends up working out, and it's like, well, that's good as long as I can keep them laughing. Like, I'm happy, right?
My biggest problem, as soon as I get comfortable after that 10 seconds, my filter's fucking gone.
Yeah.
Like, I was emceeing for my cousin's wedding, and like after announcing all their names, I was super nervous about doing and stuff like that, just for no reason, just because it's the first 10 seconds, right? Just I'm nervous about doing that.
Yeah.
I get halfway through, and I remember they wanted to do a bunch of games for bride and groom to kiss, right? Instead of clanging the glasses that everybody hates, and if you do that, you are a terrible human being. But anyways, so they want to do little games, and since no one was doing the games, I just walked up there, and I think I made a comment like something about he's not getting enough right now. Come on, he just got married. How would you feel if you just married the love of your life? Wouldn't you want to be doing a little bit more than kissing? And right now, you guys aren't even letting him do that. And like, I just let that go. I just see my dad just go, no. But everybody else, like all the other parents were laughing, everybody else was laughing. Some kids are like, "Why is that funny?" And I'm just like, okay, maybe that's a good one. I didn't swear, so maybe it's okay.
Yeah, I
But it can
find
get bad.
I find it's funny. Like it seems like with adults, you just gotta like, and I mean, yeah, obviously we're all adults, but when you grow up a little bit more rebellious, you're so used to using a filter, and like really cutting it down when you talk to anyone kind of older than you and with a family, and then it surprises you how much they hint at certain humor. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
you gotta do it subtly. That's the whole clue. Like, I'll put it this way: if a kid can understand it, or they know that you're saying something bad, you're doing it wrong,
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
But like, I was always
Yeah.
surprised. I'm like, man, like, I always thought I had to be clean around these people, but they just hint at it very subtly,
Yeah.
Creepy.
and they just don't say it outright like I do.
Yeah. I'm
But
really
like,
good at
it's
sarcasm,
okay.
not
It's
subtlety.
okay if you hint at
You know
it
what? Have you
subtly.
ever, and like, even stuff like watching kids shows. Have you ever rewatched a kids show that you've seen years ago
Disney's
that you
really
watched with your parents? Yeah, and then you watch it again, and you're like, "Whoa, that was in there. That was not clear." Oh, I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, you pick up on the little hints that they drop just to make it entertaining for the adults as well.
Yeah, yeah,
When
I
they
always
watch.
found that very interesting, for sure.
But no, for me with public speaking, like I haven't really done much public speaking. I've gone up at a wedding and stuff like that, and but I've never really gone up in public speak. But if I'm in like a group with a lot of people, I if I even I don't really get shy, but I
Mhm.
notice I start talking a lot more without thinking. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I hear
I just
you.
kind of
You know
say
what?
whatever comes to my head.
I'll kind of say one thing on that. I find there's a big difference between being in a group, because when you're in a
And-
group, you know all those people,
Yeah,
right? Like,
but I mean, like a
I
group that
would
I
have an
don't-
easier time talking in a group of acquaintances and whatever, a group of 25 people, than I would in a like formal setting with 10 people. You know what I mean? When as soon as it's like you have to do a presentation here and it's not natural, it just feels so much harder then, right? Compared to like if you're in a group of 25 people at a get together or party or something, and then you just, you're like, hey
Yeah, it
guys,
doesn't matter,
everyone, we're
there's
going
no
inside
filter.
for pizza at 12 o'clock and this and this and this is happening. That's fine, right? Because you just did that naturally, not a big deal. But when you're in somewhere and there's like 10 people sitting down with notepads staring at you and it's silent, and you got to do like a presentation, it's so much different. And I think that's regardless of whether you know them or not, because like I took a communications class in college, and one of the things they do is at the end of the class, they make you do a presentation. And I knew like pretty much everyone in the class, and there's only like 15 people, but and this was like a while ago, and I was like shaking, and I did it awful because I sped through it, talked way too quick because I was so freaking nervous. But it's like I knew these people, but it's so much on the setting, because in front of those same people I would have stood up in front of the class and said something, no problem. But as soon as you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your ideas out there, you're doing something that kind of makes you nervous, it really throws you off.
And if you're
it's
kind of
crazy.
if you know that you're going to be put in the spot a while ahead of time too, where you have all this time to think about it, I think that makes a difference as well.
Yeah, I think it makes
If you
it
because
worse.
then you build your yeah, because you build up so much in your head, like all these things that could happen that just are, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what if they think this? Did I word this right? You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. I know what you mean. Yeah, totally. One thing that really did help me, and I didn't do too much of it, but is Toastmasters. You guys have heard of that, right?
No.
What?
Toastmasters?
Okay, maybe it's more common in older people, but it's a really common public speaking course. So I got referenced to it by my older sister, and my uncle is actually involved in starting one of them locally. But essentially, it's just a group that typically meets like once a week, and they have a meeting format that they follow, and then you can like volunteer for different roles, I guess. So like you can be the meeting lead or whatever, and then every meeting they have like, and I don't know if it depends on the meeting, because there's different groups. Like let's say in Lethbridge, I think there's like 5 or 6 different groups that meet up for that. But anyway, it's all focused on public speaking, and the one I was in, they did like 3 people had to do a 3-minute speech every week. So they pick different people, right? So I think it's better if you're in a group with lots of people, because you get to see different speeches and different opinions. But then everyone kind of has a role, and it really forces you to get involved. And they have a lot of different steps on how, to get everybody involved and to get everyone out there. And I think it can give you a lot of confidence. not only that, you can meet a lot of interesting people, and I think it's a really good networking opportunity as well. So I just found out that actually where I live, they offer one, and I was pretty excited about that, so I might be joining that up. But that would be something like, it is a bit of a commitment because it's like once a week, but some of them meet early in the morning, some of them meet at noon, some of them meet at night. And nice. I think it's a very powerful thing to go to. I mean, you can always give it a try, and if you don't like it,
what are these clubs called?
Toastmasters. So you can just look up like Toastmasters Lethbridge, and it'll come up with all the different clubs and what times they meet and where they meet.
Why Toastmasters?
That's just the name.
That's a weird name.
Toast, like not like
not butter and toast, like, but like Toastmasters. Yeah, when you think of speeches, you know what I mean. Like, I offer a toast too. But Ashton, I think you'd be good at public speaking, Ashton and Josh. I mean, I think you guys both have like.
I'd have to give it a try, but I've never tried it. I feel like it'd be interesting.
It's hard, but it's fun at the same time.
You know what I mean? My problem is like I have so much fun doing it in the moment. And then it's like the next day something hits me. It's like, did I say anything wrong? What did I do? Was it all okay? Did I go too far? And then the day after, I'm fine again. But it's just like, wow, that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. Next day, oh no, what did I do? Day after, I'm back on my high horse. Life is a roller coaster for me, man.
You go through a lot of emotions with that.
I go through a lot of emotions.
Yeah, I hear you with that regret thing. But I find it... The funniest thing is that when I'm like spitballing on a speech or when I'm just pulling stuff out of my ass is when I'm the funniest, it seems like. When someone's like, oh, hey, Josh, you want to talk? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I'm just like really pushed into a corner. And it's almost like I resort to humor to like bail myself out. And it always works pretty good. But
it depends on the crowd I have. If I have a crowd that just like, they don't really have that big of a care, they're not really too picky on what you say or anything like that, I can get out fine. Because I can keep a decent filter when I'm put on the spot, but I'll still let like shit and something like that, or do a very crude joke or something like that too.
Yeah, and I think
like, my filter doesn't work very well.
I think having a bulletproof filter is a very valuable skill to have. Like,
yeah,
it sounds bad in a way, but like being a human chameleon can really help you out. And not from an aspect of deceivery, but more just from you want to respect other people, right? And I think that's one thing that I don't know. I think I'm decent at it, right? It's just a matter of, hey, you know what these people value. Don't say things they don't value.
Yeah, pretty much. You're able to turn that switch on and off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can be difficult, but I've never had too much of a problem with it.
So, have either of you guys ever tried karaoke, like at a place where there's lots of people?
No, I haven't. No,
I have once.
I wanted to.
I have done it, and that is
you wanted to, Josh?
Yeah, but I'm so bad at singing.
I don't care.
Like that's my problem, right? Like something like going up for, I would like sooner go up for an open mic or something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Like I'm just awful at music, right? So like
prove it for the listeners.
No. See, at first I did like some rap once. You know what I mean? When I first went up, I did a couple rap songs and stuff like that because I know that's kind of like you just mouth it and it's not much singing involved. But then after that, I got a little bit more courage built up in me because these people actually kind of like it. So I went up and actually tried to sing a song, and that was okay.
But courage means beer, people. He means beer.
Yeah, well, that helped a lot too. Yeah. But the fact that at first people cheered after that, and then after I went and tried to sing a song, and then it was kind of quiet after.
One song I always thought I would sing if I did karaoke was "Paint Me a Burning Ham." I don't know why. It's just I always liked that song. It's an old country song. It's like, would you?
Okay, that's why I don't know.
Would you paint me a burning ham? Make it look just the way I planned. A little house on a piece of land. Know what I'm saying? You've known it.
I don't.
It's like an old song. I don't even know who it's by, but it's really good. It's like the guy says he's like walking past an old man, and the guy said, it's one of those street painters, and he asks him what he can paint, and then This
Oh,
guy says, "Would you paint me in Birmingham?" And then it goes on and on about how he wants to paint like his. I don't know if it's his like ex-wife or his dead wife into the picture, like a house with a swing, and then paint her into the picture so it can be just like the way it was. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know. I
sounds
don't
like a
really like
pretty
country.
good song.
It's
That's
a
one thing I
really
like
good
about country
song.
music is they have
It's by
lots of times
Tracy Lawrence. That
that
one
name
for
sounds
some
familiar.
reason I always just felt like I could carry.
That
it
name
with
does
me.
not sound familiar to me at all.
Yeah, it does to me.
I'm surprised you haven't heard it, Ashton. I figured you'd be.
I might have, but I just don't remember it at this time.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, look it up because it's a dope song. Gotta
Check
like
it out.
you gotta appreciate some of that old
Oh,
country.
I love old country, man. I love old country. There's this one movie that was old country. What's it called again? I forget the name of the movie. But
No
there's a
Country
song.
for Old Men?
That was an awful movie.
No,
Oh, yeah, that was a weird movie. That was just...
wait, that's a movie. What'd you say?
No Country for Old Men?
No, I've never heard of that. That's actually a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
No, but there's this other one. Country Strong.
Hmm.
Country Strong is what it's called. You guys ever heard of Country Strong?
Nope.
You ever heard the song Silver Wings?
No. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone knows I'm not a country fan.
Yeah.
By any means, so I don't know anything about this topic.
I forget where I was going with it anyway. This is. I want to say I'm lost now.
You're missing out, Josh. That's all I gotta say.
I'm really not, man. I'm really
If you
not.
ever just want to bring a tear to your eye,
Have you ever
If
just?
I ever just want to bring a tear to my eye, I can cut some onions.
yeah, snort some salt. But just to wrap up that topic on public speaking, you guys and me, I should do it too. We should all do Toastmasters because I think it's very good for anybody. And it gets
That'd be
that
a thing.
fire going in you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? When you're so
Yeah.
scared and you do something anyway, that breaks something inside you. Like it
Yeah.
just does. Like it gets you going on something, right?
I'd be
And
game.
that's what I love about it. So.
I don't know, man.
Public
I feel like I
speaking,
get too
I
scared
don't
playing my drill.
Huh? The only way I'm gonna do it is if I make a commitment with someone else.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You'll do it?
Wait, do you actually
I'll
have to
do it.
speak? Do you just speak in front of the group, or do you actually go speak in front of other
No,
random
you speak
events?
just in front
or
of the
places?
group, but that could be
Okay,
like 20
yeah.
people.
Yeah, I'd probably
Yeah, I could
try
do
that.
that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about it later, Josh. But yeah, I think it it'd be good. It just kind of sucks because it's another hour a week that I don't have, but I think it's worth it. You gotta.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to.
Oh yeah,
now,
you can
especially.
stop learning Spanish one day a week. You could put off, or just add an extra like 10 minutes to the rest of the week. Just add an
Problem
extra
is
hour
I
and 10
made a
minutes and you're
commitment. I
fine.
made a commitment to myself.
Yes, but then all you gotta do is add an extra 10 minutes to the other 6 days of the week,
Yeah.
and that makes up for the hour.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. That was a commitment I kind of wish I never made.
I'm second guessing on my 7 hour of sleep commitment.
Is that
Just
not
saying the-
enough?
That's too much.
No, I on my phone I just set an alarm for 7 hours. As soon as I lay down, I don't set a time to wake up. Just give
Oh,
myself
yeah.
7 hours to fall asleep, and
I
that's that.
kind of
I'm waking
like
up.
that. I like that.
Because it like I'm in real estate. I
So,
don't
is
really
there
have
a
to be-
way you can do it easily on your phone?
Yeah, you just have an alarm. It's on Okay,
No,
wait,
like for me, I have
I-
preset alarms, so like at 6:30, at 5, at 7, yada yada. But can I just hit boom 7 hours,
Yeah, you just said.
like
if
really
you use your-
easily?
You
Like
use a
down,
timer.
like down to the minute.
Yeah, you use your timer.
Oh, you just use your timer.
Yeah, I just use a
I
timer
see.
phone. So
And then
I wonder,
that
maybe-
probably doesn't snooze either, which is good.
no, it doesn't. It does not.
See that I need that snooze, man. There's like so many
Yeah,
times
that's
I
what
won't
everyone
wake up.
says, but if you actually train yourself, and it can be done, you can wake up without snooze.
Yeah,
I've been
you,
doing better
you gotta
lately.
just think of it like if you have something really exciting going on in your life, like let's say tomorrow you had won the lottery and you were gonna go out and pick up your lottery ticket, you deliver your winning ticket and get the money. Your alarm goes off. you'd be out of bed like that, like gone, like boom, like you wouldn't need a snooze button, you wouldn't need anything. Your phone would start vibrating, and boom, you'd be out, covers off, clothes on, out the door before you could even hit the snooze button. That's what I'm saying. It's a matter of training and motivation, and if you want to get motivated to get out to work, and if you make a commitment to yourself and do it mentally, because the body is a powerful thing that way. If you're like, I'm going to wake up at this time, I'm going to get out of bed the first thing, I'm going to turn snooze off on my phone, so if I don't get out of bed, I'm not even going to go to work. You put yourself into a compromise where you pop out of bed.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, there's been times, like, I'm literally a super heavy sleeper. Like, if there's been I don't know how many times, I don't know how many times I have slept, and both my alarms have gone off, and I've woken up an hour later, and then it says 2 missed alarms on my phone, and I didn't wake up from either of them.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying, and that's why, like a dead person. And that's why this works even better for you, because it's training yourself to naturally. You know how, like, I don't know exactly how it works, but there's sleep cycles, right? So you kind of start off and you're like, okay, this is my level of sleep now. 2 hours in, you're in this deep phase of sleep. 3 hours in, you're even a deeper sleep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you start to come out of it, and if you can train your body to naturally come out of it, you actually feel way better when you wake up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you ever had it that, let's say you wake up before your alarm, like, let's say 6 o'clock, you wake up, you're good to go. You're like, oh, I got a couple. You fall back asleep, and then you wake up again and you feel like shit.
No. I've learned that the hard way. Like, if I wake up before my alarm, I sit up in bed instantly. Like, I look at the time. If I still have an hour before I need to wake up, then I'll probably go back to sleep for that hour. But if it's like half an hour or 10 minutes, and I'll just get out of bed at that time. And that gives me that extra time, because then you actually, like you said, you feel way more awake first thing in the morning. You feel way more better.
Yeah, it's way better. So that's something I got to work on too. But
I just don't know how to train myself to do that.
It's way easier if you're not in a physically draining job. Because when I was roofing, every single minute of sleep I possibly could get, I wanted. Like, I would be in bed by 9, I would want to be asleep before 10, and I would be up 6:30, and I would try and push it to, like, if it was cold outside, I'm like, oh, there's probably not going to be that many people leaving for work early today. I'll probably be able to get to Timmy's at a decent time. I think I can push it back. I don't need fresh socks this morning. I'll just grab the ones that are in that dirty hand. I don't need a fine clean. You just try and figure out anything you possibly can to get out the door 10 seconds sooner, so you can sleep 10 seconds longer in the bed. It's like, I don't need to go to the bathroom this morning.
Breakfast? No. Bathroom? No. Wash my face? No. Work boots? Clothes? Yes.
Work boots and clothes. Yeah, that's what happens. And then most of the time you usually forget something. Get out to the car. It's like, I forgot my keys. Or you get to the job site and got my lighter.
But I think even in that situation you can. Because when I was working a manual labor job, I felt like way better when I woke up an hour early and had all my stuff prepared and ate breakfast and did all my stuff, because I was just like, okay, now I'm ready to go. Whereas if you wake up, and I know people that literally wake up like 10, 20 minutes before work, and it's like, how do you do that? Like
I did.
Yeah.
I gave myself 15 minutes to lay in bed, and then I gave myself, I think, 20 minutes to get to work. 20 minutes to a half hour even to get to work. And I just take, normally when I was roofing, I just took 10 minutes before work technically started to have my coffee and cigarette. But, like, I live so close to the land where we met every morning, it was literally a long day for me to get to work was 15 minutes, and that's stopping going through the Tim Hortons drive-through.
For me, it's close to an hour.
That was a long day.
I guess for you, Ash, you have all that time to wake up.
I have a long time to wake up. I pretty much walk out the door, but honestly, I get excited on my way to work. I love my job. Like, on the way over there, I'm actually pretty happy to get.
That's really cool, man. Okay, so a couple questions for you. What makes you love your job?
Honestly, man, I think one of the big things is the people you work with. and the atmosphere that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
If everyone there is kind of negative and has a like always is talking about this guy and that guy's talking about this guy and there's all this drama at work, you kind of like dread going to work.
Yeah.
It's way less fun that way. This year, everyone's getting along great. Everyone's in a wicked mood, and I love. I don't know. It's just something about this year. It's just been
So
great.
you
And
would
I think
say-
a big thing has to be with the people.
So you would
that you
say
work-
like the number one thing would be company culture? Would that be fair
Yeah,
to say?
the atmosphere you're in while
Yeah.
you're working.
Yeah. Would
And
there
it's
be
big
like if I had to ask you the second best thing, what would you have to say?
Oh, what would be the second best thing?
Money.
I love the money. The money is the big thing. Honestly,
Yeah.
no, but that's not all the way.
That's
I'm having
not
just
it,
as much
and
fun
I
with this job.
realize that
It's not.
because
It's not.
one of the and sorry to put you on the spot. I'm just curious as to that
Yeah.
because like I think the push for company culture is so important.
Oh yeah.
And it's tricky because it's probably one of the hardest things to create because you
Oh,
can't just put out a policy that says, okay, next week, Monday, we're improving company culture. It's going up by 10%. Like, it's so much built on, and I attended this course called endeavours. It was this little business seminar I did in Calgary, and I think it's a worldwide corporation, but a couple different people put it on. And one thing the guy pushes over and over and over is mutual respect and understanding
Yeah.
to your coworkers,
for sure.
to your employees, to your boss, to the
Yeah.
people you work with, everything. And if you can spread that across your company as the baseline, that's how you operate, I think that makes the difference. And I think it comes from the top down, right?
Oh, yeah.
You like, I mean, in a way you can have that subculture, and I've seen that before where all the employees get along with each other really well, but then it causes a lot of conflict between them and
Between
the people
employees and the
above them.
boss. Yeah.
Whereas if the whole company is based on mutual understanding and respect, like, man alive, does that ever make a difference, right? And where it comes from
Yeah.
the top down. And just to hear you say that, like, the reason why you love going to work isn't because of money, because let's face it, we all could make different better money doing a different thing, probably.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
maybe not, maybe you could, but at the end of the day, you probably could if you really looked for it.
See, that's another thing. I'm sorry. I'm sure you're done.
Well, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because when I was the company I was working at before this, I really enjoyed as well. I loved working there too because it was the same thing for the most part. Everyone got along really good and stuff like that. But this company, when I originally started for them, the first year I worked for them, it was a totally different crew, and there was lots of people like they didn't like each other here and stuff like that, and the atmosphere wasn't as good. So I really didn't enjoy it, even though it was making more money. But I was up to the point where the company I was at that I was actually enjoying, that I couldn't afford anything. So I needed something that I could to kind of like build up my bank account a little bit, get rid of some bills that I had stacked up. So I went to this job not thinking I would enjoy it at all. And then after I started, then I actually realized I actually enjoy this work as long as there's not all that drama and everyone and the boss and everyone gets along great. And it's just that makes the world of a difference.
Yeah.
If you have fun.
That's really cool. It really is. Yeah, because I mean, you can say it's all these different things. Like I would say, well, a job with more opportunity is better, and this and that. And it's like, yeah, maybe it's better, and maybe I'll go to it because it has more opportunity. But it doesn't necessarily mean I enjoy it more. And the times I've enjoyed it the most is when you love working with your coworkers, you respect your boss, you feel like your boss respects you, you generally feel included. And it just feels like that whole team effort. You know what I mean? When you walk into work and you're like, hey, say hi to the secretary. How's it going? Hey, say hi to this guy on the way past your office. Hey, your kid win the baseball game last night. I don't care. You know what I'm saying, though? And then when people feel, like they could joke around and have fun, and that makes a huge difference. And when it feels like you come home when you go to work, that's what it should feel like, right? And that is so hard to create. And I find, for me especially, it's hard to create because when you're starting a new company or you're involved in a new company, there's maybe not people there all the time and it's not the same, but I think it's really important to push that and to realize how important it is, right? to
Oh,
put
yeah.
that on number one. Like, you know, improving your bottom line, all these things. No, above that, creating a company culture, respecting your employees, and creating mutual respect, and having that
Totally.
override everything. And I think that is
Absolutely.
100% important. And that's
Yeah,
definitely
that
a
creates the
focus.
ultimate working atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see it.
Yeah. With
Interesting.
when I was roofing, actually, when the two times when I hated it the absolute most is when I was working with because we had some foreigners from Nepal that they're decent people, but you can't have a conversation with somebody who is deaf in one ear and barely speaks English, let alone understand it or anything like that. So it's very challenging to have a conversation with them. And so there's no sort of communication. It's just like solid constant work, and it is always frustration with the language barrier.
Yeah.
Or I would be working with people that hated their job, thought they deserved more, thought the boss wasn't treating them properly, and thought they want to quit like every day. Oh, I wish I was just in bed having beers instead of being here drinking coffee.
Yeah, and
before
that
working.
hurts.
And
like
that just eats away
because
at
I've
you and
had
just
that
takes you
before
down.
too, where it seemed like everybody in the company was bashing each other, like where and people, and the worst is it comes from people above you, right? Like if your boss spends half his time talking to you about how he hates your other employees so much, like you do the same thing, and then your people under you do the same thing, and it's just so toxic. And it's like when you in that backstabbing, just awful environment, and it ruins it. And I think it hurts productivity insanely much. Like, unbelievable.
Even now with my new job, I came in there when I was, because I'm want to be competitive in real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so before I even got the job, I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna make other real estate agents fear me. I'm gonna be the king of the deal. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make some money and make things happen. And my mom looked at me, is like, you can do that all, but you have to be very respectful in doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that just changed my entire mood towards everything. And then hearing another thing, a mortgage broker say, you know what, I'm never going to bad talk another mortgage broker or another real estate agent or anything like that, because that just makes us all look bad, and it just sets up a terrible culture for us to be in. And it creates a lot of backstabbing. So it's very, like, sometimes, like, I can come to the office and I'm hearing certain things from this side and the other side, and it's just so toxic. Mm-hmm. And to the point where I have to separate myself from a lot of people at the office for even just like 10 minutes. You go back and kind of reevaluate my actual personal experiences with the people that they might have been talking behind their backs or bash talking, and come to my own conclusion if that person is a decent human being and does respect who I am or anything like that. So
that's another
it's definitely a company culture, and creating that proper foundation there is huge if you want to succeed.
Oh, I
think
a company.
All it takes is pretty much one person to start talking about one other guy, and for him to say a couple of things that gets some other people talking about that other guy, and then all of a sudden the whole entire crew or work area can start not liking this one person just because this one guy had an issue with him, because it starts spreading, it starts growing.
And what I'll say to that is, if your whole company is focused, and if it literally like says on the wall when you walk in, mutual respect and understanding, like if you push that and you push that hard and you make it obvious that you're pushing that, I think then it makes a difference. Then the second the first guy says something to the other guy, it just gets shut down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, hey, we don't do that here, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I said it's a very hard thing to do, because people naturally just like to bitch about other people.
Especially depends on what line of work you're in, too, I think.
Yeah. Sales, that's where I see it the most. Which is baffling to me. Like, in sales, everyone's just like very cutthroat and everything like that. It's like, no, actually, I want to be in this for a very long time. So I'm gonna do some bitch work, for lack of a better term. I'm gonna go out. I'll help them with something that I'm not really gonna benefit from right now, but I'm gonna build a relationship with any other salesperson I possibly can, doing anything I possibly could, giving them all the respect I can, because respecting someone is going to benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
You ever notice that when you're thinking about sales and, let's say, landing a prospect, and it's hard to put this into words, but it seems like the longer you take to profit from someone, the more you profit from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I'm a business consultant, okay? And let's say right off the bat, I'm like, I charge $500 an hour and yada, yada, yada. Maybe I get some customers. Let's say once a week, one day a week, I give my services out for free. Okay. Now, let's say hypothetically, the people that I give my services out for free, I have a filter process and I say, okay, I only want really driven people and I only want people that are excited for this, yada, yada, yada. Now, those people that I gave it out for free end up doing really well and becoming successful. And then I benefit from that, right? Like, let's say I benefit from that from being able to invest in them, or I benefit from that from being able to, maybe I consult for them and then this time at a fee and then way higher than my original $500 fee because I'm that elite right now. And like I said, it's hard to put it all into words, but do you know what I'm getting at? Like that, what I'm saying is it seems like the longer you offer your services for free and put yourself out there for free, the better off it is for you. And it's just a matter of how long you can do that for the payoff. Like, let's say as a business, the more free trials I give out and the longer I give out free trials and the more I offer for less to the customer benefits me more in the end, because it all depends on how long term you look at it, right? Like, let's say if you're out there doing sales and you look at it as I need sales in the next month type of thing, you're going to do way worse than if you say I want to build sales for the next 5 years, right? Because when a client calls you and they want something, and let's say you can't necessarily offer that, one scenario where you're looking at sales for the month, you kind of squeeze it and you make it work and you make something happen, and they might not be getting the best product, and whatever. You get your little paycheck, but that's all you get. But you're looking at it on the 5-year plan, and then you say, hey, you know what? I actually know this other guy that would be really good specifically for that. How about you let me hook you up with him? And almost always it works out where they're going to come back to you with something else and you're going to get a way bigger sale and you're going to benefit way more because of that. And it's so hard because it's so much like the less you do now, the more you get, like, you know what I mean? Like the less you make now, the more you make later is what I'm thinking. And I don't know if it's true or not, but that's just something I've been noticing. And it seems like it is a thing. Like the less I get now, the more I get later. With a lot of things, and it's tricky because it's so tempting to be like, oh, you know, but it makes so much. Yeah, it makes so much sense. Like with people that are like out offering their services for free on some of this stuff, you're like, oh, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? But it pays off for them tenfold because if they can help someone out or mentor someone or do anything for someone who becomes immensely successful, that in turn makes them way more successful.
Yeah. And you know what? It actually reminds me of this one. I don't know. I can't think of a link to send to you for this, but there's a guy named Dave Ramsey. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, financial guy.
Like there's Dave. He has a book, Dave Ramsey's Total Money Maker.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
I haven't got a chance to read it, but it's on my list. He's all about having like no debt, right? Like that's his whole.
Yeah, kind of more so, and still having income and stuff like that too. Not so much like business, but just like making yourself financially stable. And one thing that he pointed out is if you're constantly holding on to all your money, like if you're a clenched fist, grabbing onto all your money, you're going to hold on to that money, but nothing else can come in. As soon as you start opening and, sharing a little bit, then money can flow. Mm-hmm. And he's like, he had lots of very good points similar to that I can't think of right now, or I don't have anything to reference with. But
Well, Grant Cardone says something about if you're in business or in sales or anything like that, and you pack your lunch to save a couple dollars, you are wasting money. Because instead of packing lunch, eating by yourself, you could be going out and spending that extra few dollars to go out and eat and make a connection with someone. He says he never has lunch with someone who could never be a potential customer. So if it's someone that is never going to buy from him, he's not going to have lunch from him.
That makes sense.
But if it's anything that's like not right now, but maybe 3 years, 4 years down the road even, I'll have lunch with them any day. I'll stop for a coffee at them at any time or anything like that. Eating by yourself or packing your own lunch and eating that at home if you're a business person is a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
Because why it's also like take your time now. Time is money. Time is valuable. Like take your time with these people, and they're gonna see value in that because they're not gonna see. Because if you don't take time with that, they're just gonna look at the price that you're throwing at them.
Yeah,
right?
and I think the mistake a lot of people make is they think, oh, it's my friends. Like, I don't really want to go for lunch with my friends. And yeah, sure, if it's only 5 friends that you ever only hang out with, maybe not. But if you build that network of friends, like, think of it. Who's the first person you can sell something to? Your friends. Who's the first person you can bounce ideas off of? Your friends. Who's the first person that's going to give great ideas to you? Your friends and your network, right? So if you go out for a lunch with someone different every single day and you build that up and you keep building that up, eventually you come up with a new idea. You also have 100 people that you can pitch it to like that, and that can give you really good feedback versus if you stayed at home and saved your $5 a day.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have anything. Right? It's an interesting thing. And I'm not sure if I 100% agree with it because the budgeting side of me just cringes at it. It's so much money.
I love that because I'm terrible at packing lunches. So I heard that and it's like, yeah, I know how to pack lunches.
I'm in the right industry.
I'm in the right.
That makes me really want to get into sales because I hate packing my lunches. I do it to save the money, but it's like, I just want to go get some McDonald's, man. I just want a Big Mac.
I'm excited for the point where I can eat classy, like happy hour at Backstreet, the local bar that I made my home. That's what I want. I want to be that type of success where I like call and I have my own table there and I just go there every day for lunch.
Yeah, but Backstreet doesn't exactly scream good business environment. But
yeah,
I know what you're saying, though. Yeah. I know what you're saying, where you can just be a regular. Hey, give me the usual, Annie, or whatever.
It's give me the usual. Sam, Anna, Footer, Tegan. Oh, they hired 2 or 3 new people, so I don't know the other ones. And they hired them all within a week.
Yeah, but. Ashton, you said you drive to work an hour every day?
About 45 minutes,
like each way. So
about an hour, my brother's a new minivan.
What do you do on that drive?
It depends. Sometimes I'll just drive in silence. Other times I'll listen to music. Other times I'll listen to pretty much just think about what I'm going to do for the day.
Okay, I got a challenge for you. You have an hour and a half a day of free time. Listen to some audiobooks. I will give you the password
to
my Audible account. They're all free on there. Just have at her. There's lots. I did it.
Right.
And you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to do a weekly book on this podcast. I know a book a week is kind of stiff, but a lot of them are only like 6 hours or 4 or 3. Totally. So if we do that every week and then maybe take 20 minutes out of the beginning of every podcast and talk about the book that we read or listened to, I think that would be great. You guys all on board for that?
I can be on board for that. I gotta finish Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm doing terrible.
Yeah, send me that up.
Yeah, that's a long book, but I'll just pick the one for today. Contagious is the book I have on my list.
Contagious.
Why things catch on. And I think it's more on marketing. So that's the thing. Like, I'll put it this way. The book where I'm focused on, marketing, leadership, sales, company culture, management, anything in those areas. So if you're not interested in any of those areas, maybe you don't want to be listening to any of my books.
Totally, man.
But if
that's kind of right up there.
Then it's perfect. So I 100%. Do actually have some real estate ones on there as well, real estate investing.
I have Kevin Hart's on there too. So if you want to take a side venture,
inspiring story. Yeah. But can we all say that we'll listen to Contagious? It is, let me see, 6 hours and 50 minutes. That's an hour a day.
I'll probably listen to it all morning.
Yeah, I'll probably do that.
Race, you guys!
And then probably bring it.
First one to finish it wins.
Okay, that's awesome. But yeah, I'll give you
have time out at work too.
So you know what Audible is, though, right? I should just download the app and then I'll text you the login information.
I might even have it. Yeah, I do have it.
You do have what? The app?
Audible, yeah. Actually, because a coworker of mine was telling me about that similar idea, except not necessarily books along that line. He was more into this other book that he was telling me about. That he said I should give a go. So he told me what the app was, and then cool.
Oh, never mind. That password has a capital first letter.
Okay.
But
You want to text me the book name again as well? Maybe.
yeah, sure.
What was the book name again? I can just type it
It was
down.
Contagious: Why Things Catch On by Jonah Berger.
Contagious.
And it's in my library.
Was that the?
So.
Okay. Cool. All right.
But yeah, I think that'd be really cool
I'll
to
check
do
it
that.
out.
I've been loving Audible because I mean, like, I do it at the gym, I do it while I'm driving, I do it while I'm cooking, I do it while I'm pretty much doing
And that's actually,
anything other than talking to people or working. So,
yeah,
yeah.
it's actually such a good idea too because you listen to music all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm up to the point now where I've listened to almost every single song to the point where I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, and I think
Listen to
music
book.
has its place because I've had a hard time with that. I'm like, do I cut it all out? But life gets a little drab then. So I will take sometimes if I just feel like my mind is just buzzing and I just got too much in. Like maybe sometimes if I'm at the gym and I'm just worn out from thinking, I'll just crank the tunes instead of listening to an audiobook. But I think it's
Yeah,
all about that balance, right? Like
yeah,
because yeah, you don't want to cut out all music and be like audiobooks only. But at
yeah,
the same time, it is good to cut back on the music, I think, because sometimes you can just do it too much. But I really like to, yeah, just maybe take 10 minutes in the day and just crank some good music I like because it really helps me get fired
yeah,
up about what I'm doing again, right?
yeah.
And another
That's
thing
a
I
good
do
point.
is while I'm doing something like, let's say if I'm writing a long email or usually for me when it comes to content creation is when I listen to music. Like let's say if I have to write like a 4-page or business pitch or something, I just throw in the headphones, throw in some EDM, crank it like as
Yeah.
loud as it can go, and just zone in like a kid on Adderall. I'm just like, and it works. And some people say like working to music is bad or whatever they got to say. They say it
Yeah.
slows you down. I guarantee you, it does not slow me down.
Yeah.
Like
No.
I do very well on it in that
Especially,
setting, but I
I
can't
find,
really have stuff with words. I find it
yeah,
throws me off.
yeah. See, I was just gonna say that. I realized that too when I was doing a couple tests at the beginning of the season. I was like, my mind was just kind of going blank and I couldn't think, so I just kind of put some music on in the background. Music, like you said, that doesn't have any words because words kind of make you start thinking about what they're saying, but just a kind of like more of a beat, like more just EDM style.
Hmm.
And just had to kind of quiet and instantly like kind of like almost relax me to the point where I could do it a lot better and focus a little bit easier.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Right. Yeah, I
And
can
it's
see
different for
that.
everyone too. Some people that wouldn't work. But.
Yeah. Hey, quick question for you, Josh. I had talked to you a while ago about, I don't even remember what it was called, but like the 18-second rule or something. Like if you're watching TV, or if you have a problem with watching TV,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
put
yeah.
your remote in
I thought
another
that, yeah,
room
the
or
10-second
take,
rule.
yeah, like if something's 10 seconds away from your reach, then you'll be less likely to do it. Just to explain it to you, Ashton, the gist of it was like if you have a problem watching too much TV, take the batteries out of your TV and go put them in your cupboard in another room or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And
Make
if
it.
you want to start doing different hobbies, like if you want to play guitar more or you want to, I don't know, practice chess more, put the guitar in the middle of your living room. So it's the first thing you can
Yeah,
grab. So it's the easiest thing to grab. Like it was just kind of the rule of accessibility. Like and I think it was 10 seconds or 8 seconds or
Yeah,
something.
10
I don't know.
seconds.
Who cares
Oh,
how
it
many
is.
seconds it was, but
It's not many.
it
It's not
was
that many.
basically like the easier something is for you to do, the higher the chances that you'll do it, right? So if your batteries for your TV are in the other room and your guitar's right in front of you, chances are you're going to pick up your guitar and play it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that
That makes
applies
sense.
to a lot of different things, right? And you can even do the same thing on your computer, which is interesting. So like let's say if you have a problem with playing like video games, hide that shortcut under like 30 files.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Where was it?
and like so it works both ways and reducing the time that it takes to do productive things, right? Like let's say if you
Mhm.
do, let's for me like learning a language or something, if I put it on as like on Google Chrome when you open it up and there'll be like 6 pages that show up, I can put it
Mhm.
on like one of those. So it's like boom, oh, shows up right there. You know what I'm saying? Easy to do, more
Yeah.
likely to do it. And my question was, Did you ever experiment with that, Josh?
Well, I kind of did it subconsciously, I guess, with it, because I noticed when I first moved into my house, I had my guitars in my spare bedroom, and I didn't play guitar for probably 3 months straight.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day, I finally like, you know what, I'm going to take the guitar out. I took my acoustic out, I played it for a few minutes, and then I sat it on the couch, and then I constantly started playing it more and more and more and more, and that's one of the excuses I like to use to why my guitars are never put away or anything like that. Because they're always, I have a guitar and a ukulele within arm's reach right now. And so I always have one of them in reach. And so I end up, like I turn on the TV as a reflex because the remote's my phone. But I always end up grabbing the guitar and turning the TV down. Or if I want to listen to an audiobook, I have my amp with a aux cord and I plug in my phone instead of plugging in music or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a whole lot for me to experiment with it because it's not like I have that many distractions besides a laptop that I leave in my room normally to just like put on another audio or stand-up comedy to fall asleep in or something like that. But really all my only bad distraction would be the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Or the very comfortable couch that I have that I'm sitting on currently. But I can't put this couch any in any other room, so I can't do it.
Throw it out.
I can't.
Become a minimalist.
No, terrible. No, I love this couch so much. I've made many memories.
Well, you never tried it with like the TV remote or something?
No, because TV remote's on my phone. My dog ate my TV remote a long time ago, right?
Fair enough.
So, like, I don't have enough distractions, but, like, wanting to play guitar more, that was a huge thing because it was in the other room, but the TV was right there. The remote's on my phone. Meh. Play it up, and there you go, and I'm busy for the rest of the night. But, no, it does make a difference if you want to learn an instrument or something like that, keep it close.
Yeah, but you can see the power in that, right, Ashton?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Totally, 100%. Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
So, Ashton, if you were to say there was one area where you were wasting a lot of time, what would you say that is?
I have jokes.
I don't have a lot of time right now, to be honest with you.
Everyone's got a bit of time, and you do something with the little bit of time you have. Well, okay, at work you were wasting. No,
well, yeah. Other than that, I waste a lot of time at work. No, I pretty much, I guess, pretty much on my spare time. If I have spare time, I'll usually end up turning on the TV, or if it's still as bright outside, taking out like my racing drone lately and stuff like that. But no, that's true. That makes sense.
So I would say, like, for someone like you, maybe you only have 2 hours every night. But if you spend that 2 hours watching TV, which you're like, okay, and I get it, because it's like, okay, I earned this time. This is my relaxing time. I worked hard all day. This is my time, right?
Yeah.
But don't you want to be doing something that you actually want to do with your time? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look back, if you take a week, and at the end of the week, you look back on what you did in the evenings of that week, and all you did is watch TV, you hate yourself for that. There's There's no part of you that's like, oh, I'm so glad I relaxed and I watched TV.
I'm so glad.
Not at all. No, you're just like this is. Why can't I be getting ahead?
I'm so glad I ate pizza pops when I was watching a movie. Best decision of my life.
Like, you know what I'm getting at, right? It's not that.
Totally.
It's not that in the long term you think that's better, because if you honestly did, then go ahead, do that. But it's in the short term that you're like, oh, I earned this. I can do this. This is. I deserve this. No, you don't. You deserve to make your life better. You deserve to get out there and do things you actually want to do. And if you put a list together of things you want to do, like let's say you want to get good at flying your racing drone, you want to build better relationships with people, you want to get out there and do things you're passionate about, I guarantee you, unless you're a TV reviewer, you're not passionate about TV. You do it because you can just shut off. And that's why I think if you do work hard and you do want to relax, all you have to do is just switch from something else. So if you work hard all day, switch to maybe doing something mentally. If you work mentally all day, maybe switch to doing something, with your hands, whatever it is. I think that can make a big difference. But you can relax by doing things you enjoy and that get you ahead. You can relax by flying your racing drone. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing it, right? And then that's where this principle applies. Take your TV, throw the remote out or whatever. Maybe not too drastic, but And put your racing drone right on your bed or right on your right above your TV. I don't care what it is. Put your racing drone on top of your remote, right? Every time you go to watch TV, you're gonna be like, "Oh man, yeah, I should go practice, right? Go out and fly. That'd be fun."
Yeah,
And then even if you are tired, by the time you actually push yourself out there to do something, you're not tired anymore.
Yeah, totally, 100%.
Sorry if I got a little excited there.
Yeah, you did. I was like, dang. Josh is all happy and chipper. Yeah, you're a night person. I understand.
Oh,
right after 10 o'clock, Josh just like, whoo, second wind, get it.
I think that was the pre-workout kicking in.
No, dude, but that's great points, man. That's great points, and that's actually why I bought that racing drone too. But like, at first I was kind of debating, like, I could not, I might not, but I'm like, I don't have any hobbies. Like, I golf. Like, and that I don't even do very often. I don't have anything that I do. I used to, and then I kind of thought, well, I used to fly remote control airplanes, and so I kind of started looking into. I remembered seeing a video on racing drones one time, so I started looking into it, and I started getting actually really excited about it because I'm like, that's something that I'd be very into.
Yeah.
So
and that's
I ended
cool,
up buying
man.
one.
I like that.
And it's lots of fun.
Really cool.
And it's not only
second, you have something that you're excited about and passionate about, and I don't care if it doesn't get you ahead in the traditional way. Who cares? But if you're getting better at a skill, if you're doing something, if you're doing pretty much anything but TV, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly. Not just their brain.
Because in my opinion, TV should be like, TV is addicting, like a drug. I'd say it's like up there with cigarettes and booze and I don't meth. I don't know what, but it's no, it is because it is extremely addicting. Like the other night, and I've been trying to cut back on my TV, but I just started watching a news show. And like 8 episodes later, I'm just like hooked. Like and then the next day, I have this like unreal desire to watch it. Like I'm just like I feel it like in my heart. I'm like, oh, I need to watch that show. Like I'm thinking about it at work and for what? Because afterwards, I don't feel any better. I didn't really learn anything. You literally like you get stupider. And I'm not saying this from a like, ooh, you get stupider. You do. You feel stupider. You like, you get nothing out of it, but yet you have this irrational desire to do it. And that's why I say it's up there with a lot of these other things, because it's the same thing. Like, you get nothing out of it. It costs you time and money, and you just do that day after day. And it's a very powerful addiction. And I think the biggest thing is that nobody addresses it as such, right? Like it's always just like, oh, we watch TV. Like I went for a walk the other day, like just through my neighborhood. Almost, I'd say 80% of the houses you walk past, you can see through the front window, and usually behind the front window is their living room, and they all have their TVs on. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking 80% of the people in the town that I live in spend every single night watching TV.
Wow.
And I don't know what the statistics are for TV watching, but I know it's like stupid high. Like a couple, like 3, 4, 5 hours a day that people spend watching.
Oh, I know.
Like
I remember hearing that.
Like ridiculous. And it's and like I think it's just addressing that issue that it is such a blatant waste of time that it really makes you think. And to like I had to push. Like I just deleted Netflix off my iPad and everything because like you start and you just get hooked on it, and it's just too easy, and it's like crack. Like you just chase after it, right? And it does nothing for you. And if it did anything for you, then I wouldn't say it's such a big deal, right? Like if you're watching documentaries on there and interesting stuff and stuff that makes you think, I don't think that's a problem. But in general, like
if you watch 6 hours of Family Guy and Archer and Simpsons,
but even stuff like where people are like, oh, I watch Suits, like it makes me like think about, you know, like being a corporate lawyer, yada yada. So interesting. No, it doesn't. It makes you sit there and watch TV all day instead of going to law school to become a corporate lawyer. If that's what you want to do, right? Like,
it's stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know, back in the day when you were kids, you ever watch an action movie as a kid, and then after it's done, you're just like, oh, it's.
Well, I have that now, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, oh man, all the time. It's like that one TV show, Kim Possible, I think it was. When I was really young. Oh, I love that one, man. Every time after watching it, me and my brothers would be like, all right, let's go. And it would usually end up with someone crying or something like that. But that's what movies, like people, that's for example, when people say that they watch Suits and they feel like going to be a corporate lawyer. Well, I watched Kim Possible. I felt like going and fighting crime. Doesn't mean you're gonna.
Yeah,
You
that's
have to-
exactly it.
you
The
actually
point
have
of my
to do something.
story is you don't actually do
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
because you're too busy watching TV.
Yeah.
See,
Exactly.
instead of watching Kim Possible, you could take like kickboxing lessons, some karate, maybe some parkour, and you could actually be doing some badass tricks. But no, now you're just
Watch Kim Possible. Do the
Yeah.
impossible.
yeah.
See, I think that's funny that you said when we were kids because I still have that every single time I walk out of a movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
man! Like
Dude,
you
I had to
walk out of
fight
like
you.
a badass action movie, you're just like, oh yeah, I want to get out there. I'm gonna learn how to fight, do MMA. Man, I'm just so jacked up right now. Wake up the next day.
Well, that's
What?
true. I guess it
What?
still happens.
Or
Oh,
the
man.
worst, like you watch like a Fast and Furious movie in winter. You walk outside, there's snow everywhere. You're just like, yeah, I can drift time.
Yeah.
Or every single red light, you're like, who?
Yeah.
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 Oh, I swear, like movies like that, and like music that's meant for driving fast. Anyway, I'll get on that later. They're the cause of tickets for me, man. Like I get out of Fast and the Furious, and I'm like driving my cruise like it's like a Porsche. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
wah, wah, swerving in and out of traffic, like. Whew. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and then you get one of those songs on. You know what I mean? Like those driving songs, like those
Yeah.
fast
Oh yeah,
driving
man.
songs.
I have a separate
What's-
playlist on my phone
Yeah,
with driving.
you showed me one that's like, I'm gonna find it because otherwise it's gonna bother me. But either way, every single time I play that song or that song comes on or I even think about that song, my average speed goes up by like 20 kilometers.
Totally, man. One time I was in a hurry to get home, and I'm like, kind of thinking about cops. I'm like, you know what? Cranked on that playlist, and I played all those songs that make me feel like driving. It took me no time. I was home in a jiffy. Luckily, there was no cops, but I was in a hurry.
Nice,
It's late.
great idea.
Great. Oh yeah, man. Great decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna find this one. I think it's even something to do with writing in the name.
What kind of song is it? Like rock, EDM?
Oh, yeah, definitely EDM. Gas pedal. You know that song.
Gas
Ash.
pedal. Oh yeah.
That song.
Oh,
like
yeah.
every single time.
So
I'm just like,
Grab the phone. Make it like wanna make it. You know that one.
Gas
Sure.
pedal. Gas pedal.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah. But you know what? Speaking of the movie topic that we were talking about, I watched this movie yesterday that totally messed me up. You guys ever seen Shutter Island?
No.
No, isn't it a
It's-
horror?
It's not a horror; it's a thriller. But it is like the weirdest. It's with Leonardo DiCaprio. It was. I think it came out in 2010 or something like that. It's on Netflix, but it's about this cop that goes to this prison for like the mentally insane and stuff like that. And I'm not going to give it away if you guys like want to see it, but it's like
So
let's just say it doesn't end how you think it would end. Like he's trying to detect. He's there because one of the prisoners escaped, and the prisoner that was there was a girl. She escaped, and the reason she was there was for drowning her 3 kids in the backyard, but she thought they were still alive and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying, when I was done watching that movie, I walked outside and was like I had this whole new perspective on everything that I was doing at the time. Like, I'm like, is any of this real? Like, you gotta see the movie to know what I'm talking about now, but it messed me up.
So
That was the
I just
exception
had
for
to
me.
chuckle because I thought it was a tad ironic that we were talking about how awful TV was, and then you were saying you got to watch this movie. But then I thought there is a big difference between TV and movies because movie you can just kind of one and done, but TV it's so much like that cliffhanger. Get
Constant.
back, come back, crack. That's it, right?
And you get
But-
stuck. You get stuck in the cycle.
Yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
what I like, especially on a weekend when the day is supposed to be relaxing. Like this is your day to chill. That's why I like going to movies.
Yeah, I do.
Like,
Like
go-
what I've been doing
Yeah.
lately is just a movie every Sunday. And I like it, and I love it, and I
Yeah.
actually value it more because it's kind of like the only movie I see all week. And then I think about it, and I
Yeah.
talk about it,
Yeah.
and I actually hate it. And it's kind of a pet peeve of mine when you go watch a movie with a group of friends and then they all leave directly afterwards. Like, I just don't understand it. To me, I might as well watch a movie by myself if that's what's going to happen. Because, like, why do I go with other people if they just beeline it straight out of the theater and I'm just, well, I'll just go by myself. Like, I'm confident enough to do that. No, the reason I go is because I like to talk about it afterwards. It's like, yeah, what do you think of this and this? And oh yeah, this. And that's why I go, right? And it's fun because you do one a week and you value it more, and it is interesting. And you pick the ones out, and you're like, hey, I want to watch this one. I'll do it on, Sunday afternoons for me, or whatever it is. I think it's good because they do have their place, right? It's not that I'm like, oh, movies bad, entertainment bad. No, just too much.
Yeah, totally.
Addiction bad.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I have in common with my brother too. When we're working together, pretty much all we talk about is like, not pretty much all we talk about. That sounds bad, but we do talk a lot about movies and how and what we thought about them and stuff like that. Not only that, but because we also kind of make our own YouTube videos and stuff like that. So we kind of talk about like how when we watch a movie, it's kind of like, oh, what they do here or whatever. And then you kind of after you start kind of getting into making videos, you start noticing too the different camera angles and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you want to do like a shameless plug here right now for what your channel is?
Do you want to advertise it? Go ahead. I don't care. Yeah.
No, what is it? I don't know.
I've never seen one of your videos, Ashton.
Oh man, shit.
This is the first time I'm here.
It's just okay. ONS and AHS.
Ons and ahs.
Ons and ahs. Ons and ahs. It's just the way we named it was because.
So YouTube / ons and ahs.
Sure.
Perfect. Okay, anyway, just figured I'd get a plug in there.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this shit, Ashton.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's just a major producer here.
We started making YouTube videos a couple winters ago. That winter that I wasn't working at all. I was doing nothing all winter long, and I was just hanging out with my brothers because they were doing school, and I'm like, you know what, we kind of were talking about it. We were like, let's try making some YouTube videos. So we kind of started, and we didn't share it with anyone. And we just kind of made our own videos and posted them, and then we enjoyed doing it, so we kind of kept doing it on and off. Mm-hmm. And we still are, but it just hasn't been in a while that we've made a video since I've been working out here and stuff like that. But we have some ideas.
Yeah,
I enjoy doing so. That's another hobby I guess I have, but it's not something I can do all the time.
Yeah, that's hard when you're doing it with other people. That's a struggle, but you can do things to improve it all the time. That much. You can come up with ideas. You can market it. You can get it out there. You can connect with people. So there's a lot of different ways that can go.
Yeah. Well, we do have an Instagram account and a Facebook account.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's hard because there's so many platforms to get on these days, and they're constantly trying to create new ones. But it's like, I gotta start a company, get a website, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on Instagram, get on LinkedIn. Get on, now there's all these other ones like that are more company specific or industry specific, I guess. But, like when I was involved in landscaping, there's a website called House, which is just showing off like home improvement stuff. And then you got to get on Pinterest, and then you got to do this. And it's just like, I got like 8 social media things to manage here, and it becomes incredibly difficult.
Full-time job.
Yeah. But anyway, it is 10:28. You guys want to call that a wrap for the show today?
Let's wrap that up.
Time flew by fast.
Okay, sounds good.
Good.
See you later.
Right on.